Hi guys, so I'm gonna be videoing some things that I do in the shop, things I work on, techniques. If you like detailing, you're more than welcome to follow along. I own a detailing business called Performance Details. Well, all week we have this Porsche 911 convertible. It's getting a multi-step correction, PPF replacement and removal. Just basically an OEM replacement, interior cleaning with protection, and then a full ceramic coating on the faces, the paint, and the glass, and then an interior protection. Covered it and then taped everything off so that I can go in and polish the vehicle. The interior has been thoroughly cleaned but not protected. I like to do that last, but I wanted to make sure that I cleaned it before I started working on the outside. That way I don't possibly induce any sort of scratches because of constantly getting in and out. So this is getting a 2-stage polish. It's more of a traditional style where you cut it down with a compound and microfiber and then finish with some sort of finish polish. Cut it with microfiber and Meguiar's 110. Not necessarily a big fan of 110 or 210. I just don't like them. Most of the time I'm gonna grab something else and need to use it up, so I'm just working around it today. Display of how things are going already. This kind of here is the original state of the vehicle's paint. Then I did a test spot with a compound and a polish, and then you can kind of see here how it starts to get hazy. That's compounding only. Meguiar's 110. I'm not sure exactly what kind of finish polish I'm going to use. I did some testing and they just finish out so well, but I have like 3 or 4 bottles of different stuff that I just kind of need to use up. I really want to cut down on how many different polishes and compounds that I have. And 210's not bad either, but I normally like Jescar and Sonax Perfect Finish. I am currently working on the back hatch here. I did the wing and the compounding process, and then this area here. This I need to do this. I'm gonna do some 1-inch work on these areas here. Tomorrow we'll get back at it. I want to get this all compounded by tomorrow. I also did then remove, so there's this piece of film here. Okay, so I don't, yeah, you can see it. You can see how ugly this is. So we opted to remove this piece here. This stuff here, it feels so bad. You can see that's yellow. The car has like 14,000 miles. It's maybe a couple years old, but just the way it feels so hard. Like, it's unpliable. It's the grossest thing I've ever felt in my life. I'm sure, maybe another 2 years and this would already have started cracking. Replace it with an Expel replacement piece. Okay, so I just finished up cutting the car. Go in and do a fairly easy polishing stage. All the dust. So you can just see the level of dust from 110. I mean, that's insane. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna give it a light prep wipe, just lightly go over the vehicle. I'm not gonna saturate it. I also don't want to dry it out, but I want to remove a lot of that compounding areas like this that we don't want to cross contaminate. So I'm gonna give it a light prep wipe, and it'll also help with the static cling from all the dust in here. So this is a high intensity light that is pointing down on the vehicle. So you see where I did the compounding and then the finish. So I'm using Sonax Perfect Finish and a Rupes white pad. Normally I prefer the CarPro gloss pads. Back on them here, right? So this really helps if you're finishing down on a soft black paint. Normally what will end up happening is these will end up skipping too much because there's no support and they're so soft. You know, 2 or 3 cycles this pad just wants to skip, but this paint's taking it very well. So I'm just going to use this. I want to touch base here, right? So this is coming along very nicely. But one thing I noticed, and I know a lot of people do this, is when you get down into this area here with that curve, a lot of people will still hit it with a 6-inch pad, or if you're using a 21, I think it's 6.5. This is a 5.5. They'll just continue to go along here in this crevice area. What will happen is the correction rate here will not be near as good. Along here with a 3-inch pad, and then I'll do this here as well. You could easily go over it with a 5.5-inch pad, but the correction is not going to be the same as, you know, working on a flat panel, right? So I'm gonna 3-inch all of this. I 1-inch this, 3-inch and 1-inch here, coming along very nicely. Just want to show you here. So obviously there's a little smudge here, but it's very glossy. This is gonna wrap up day number 4, which is Thursday. Fairly done with the front bumper. I have the whole back bumper. Then it's on the prep. Finish the interior. Coat it. So it's looking pretty good. Look at that. So I still gotta finish the back bumper, the tail lights, clean everything out. I just wanted to kind of go over is get held at our estimated cost, even though things change, right? You want to do a good job, spend the extra time, but you don't get paid for it. You are liable to stay at your estimated cost, but then if you quote too high, you can possibly lose, you know, the client because somebody else is going to do it cheaper. Very difficult. And that's one thing that I've learned is all the stuff that you go out of your way to be a good detailer, especially in the beginning, right? So once you become a lot more established, it's a lot easier to charge more money to grow. All those things that make you a good detailer, you don't get paid for. Win some, you lose some. I'm going to lose probably by the end of this at least 1 full day of wages. It no longer becomes acceptable. When you first start, you're like, oh, well, work is work. As long as you can fill that week, it doesn't matter if you lose a day. Trying to come up into the world, and I want to, you know, make these videos is to kind of show what someone like me goes through, you know, especially with the detailing market being flooded, but definitely in certain areas being oversaturated. You know, it's very hard, especially people that have, you know, no insurance or not actually a business. You know, they do it on the side. Right now, I'm working on all the seals here. See here, some of the stuff that I'm just picking out of this seal. So I'm getting finished wrapping up with this car. Took care of the interior. I prepped it, coated it last night. Full SC3 treatment. But I did optic on the windshield, vortex on the wheels, alpha and omega on top. The paint, which comes with a 5-year warranty. I worked really late last night, so I didn't film anything. I was out here till about 12:30 last night.